Good afternoon and welcome to our final men's volleyball press conference of the 22-23 season. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Alan Knipe, and then we'll open it up to questions for coach from the media.
Awesome. Well, thanks for everyone for being here and all the questions that we have coming in from online. You look back at the year and it makes me think a lot of a wise old coach of mine that was my dad. I used to say all the time, and this was more of a soccer state or quote than volleyball, but it obviously applies. And that is, you can't win it if you're not in it. So just get in it a lot. And, so I'm really, really proud of the guys. It was a crazy season for us in so many different ways, from personnel to just lots of transition here on the campus to lots of changes throughout the department to so many things that the guys handled so well to put themselves back in the Final Four and be co-champs of the Big West, and so many good wins throughout the year and a great record at home and a good win against Grand Canyon, some adversity at the tournament with Soto's being ill, and just so many unique things that happened throughout the year. Ultimately we're not going to hang it on one match. Obviously, I don't think the guys really liked the way our semis went. And a lot of credit to UCLA. They had not only great semis, they played a great final and a very deserving champion. But it doesn't taint the Final Four experience. As far as our guys, this group now has done it back-to-back years, and that's great for them. We really look forward to all the guys will be coming back, and with a great recruiting class that will be coming in next year and the following year. We really like where we're at and be able to grow from this. The overall thing for me is just incredibly proud. If anyone knew really what each week looked like and all the things that a lot of our guys went through, and I'm sure this is very true for most gyms, they would have a better understanding of what I mean by I'm very proud of them. It's not just the result. It's not just getting the Final Four. It's not just all the accolades or the Big West Conference regular season championship. It's the commitment to their craft. It's their commitment to improving every day. It's their commitment to one another. It's how we grew as a team. It's how we dealt with the adversity in the offseason of Alex's departure, and how the guys, it was seamless about how we dealt with that throughout the course of the year. And I'm just incredibly proud of them. And I know all of them are excited to get back. They're hungry to compete again. And we're going to have a great offseason. We're going to have a great trip to Europe, which is something we've been trying to do for a while now. And then we'll get back and get started into the fall and have a great training block and a great competition block, and then hopefully get started for a very exciting 24 season here at the Pyramid.
Coach, you talked a little bit about the NCAA tournament. Can you talk a little bit about the fan experience and atmosphere at George Mason during your match and some of the others that were played out there, and just how the sport of men's volleyball is being grown?
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to George Mason for what they did. I thought they did a great job hosting. I thought the facilities were great. I thought the hotel was great. I thought everything that they had control over, they did a good job. They had a lot of people trying to make the experience good for the student athletes. And you're also talking about George Mason was supposed to host during the COVID year, so they had to prep for this twice and they get it once. So thanks for sticking in there to them and their crew, because we've hosted plenty of times here, and it takes a lot of people wearing a lot of hats with a lot of effort to pull something off like that. Different universities with just massive athletic departments who have tons of personnel, maybe that's common for them. It's easy, but it's not for a lot. So credit to George Mason. I think the crowd was good. I think the experience as each match grew, I think the crowds grew and the excitement grew, and I think it ended up being a really, really nice event from the NCAA standpoint and for the student athlete standpoint. So good job by George Mason.
To kind of single out this season, I know you made some comments on your team and how they were able to persevere throughout the season, but if there is something unique that you can pull from this season that years from now, if I say 2023, what would you say about this season?
Yeah, I just think that everybody got better, and I think that we were a really nice collective team. You know, I think that we had not only really good overall distribution of our offense and different guys shining from the end line, and different nights of guys were great blocking or defense. We had all these wonderful things going on, but we also had different guys like Grant Maroki and Nathan Harlan and Connor Bloom and, you know, Calvin Sanborn and Island Doty setting a match for us in San Diego, and some things that Nato Dickinson was doing for us in practice, being able to go blocking sub or double sub. Yeah, I think that we were the epitome of a team, you know, as the year went on. I think it showed in our volleyball. I think it showed in how close the guys were in our culture. And the only way we were going to get that done this year is that everybody was going to be a little bit better than they were the year before. And we were going to lean on our systems and our team and ultimately the grit. You know, some of the wins we had, especially on the road, big matches on the road, ended up being really important to our RPI and to our the selection criteria to getting into the championship. So credit to our guys for taking care of business all year long and not putting them in a situation that it was one win or not to get in.
And a comment on the seniors or those players that will not be with the team next year on how well they performed this year as well.
Yeah, you know, last year we had a really difficult year in the middle. We couldn't really keep guys healthy, and kind of whoever was ready to go was our guy. And then this year we stayed pretty healthy in there. I think Simon and Shane started every match, and I guess there was one at UCLA. Shane was out with a concussion protocol and played the second night. But yeah, I thought Shane did a great job, and I thought Grant Maroki did a great job. And there was a number of matches Grant came in and was just instant offense for us. Not easy always to be in his role. You know, obviously I know he would have loved to have been out there more, and history had proven that he probably would be, but he kind of wasn't. But he stayed ready to go, and when he got his chances, he was great. I thought Calvin Sanborn did a great job in the both years he was here, giving us that lefty, you know, we call it, you know, that area 5 to area 5 serve, and just a wonderful kid, and played great defense for us and helped us score, you know, a ton of points. And then I think Spencer had a really good senior season. You know, statistically looking at it, was significantly better than his junior year. We needed him to do that, and he got better in every area. And I think the biggest thing for him individually was he was dealing with a pretty good quad injury as a junior that he was able to kind of rehab out of and not have it affect him as much. He was able to jump better in practice and better in those back-to-back matches. But yeah, I'm really proud of those guys. Those guys have been through a lot. Those are our COVID super seniors, you know, and we all know what those guys have been through in their career. So it's the fact that they were able to commit to staying all the way through and seeing it through really helped our program, and it was great having them around. It'll be unique not having them in the gym. Those guys have been in the gym for a long time with us.
And looking forward to next year. How excited are you to have some of the returners next year, and then, of course, the incoming class that you already mentioned?
Absolutely. You know, it's really tough to replace experience, you know, so when you have it and you have it back, I think it showed this year, right? Even though, you know, we lost in the finals, the NCAA finals last year, the guys, our fall was totally different than it was the year before. Just that experience, the ability to know what it feels like to play on the road, play in playoff games, play in the Final Four, what those things mean, is huge. And we're going to have a decent amount of that in our gym, and that'll help us. I think the next couple of years, we're going to be adding a couple of guys that we feel, actually more than a couple of guys that we feel like can make instant impacts on the court as well, which is always exciting, because during the COVID years, we got kind of thin in most of our spots for lots of different reasons, but we're definitely not in that situation this year, and we don't feel like we'll be in that situation for the next couple of years.
And for the fans watching, what could you say to them, saying how exciting this team should be next year to have them come to the Walter Pyramid once again?
Yeah, our fans are amazing. Great student section this year. Great fans in general. Lots of big crowds. Lots of exciting volleyball. And we think we have a whole bunch of that scheduled next year. We have a great schedule. We haven't announced it yet, so I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but lots of great home matches, some really good matches on the road. But with the NCAA tournament being here next year, obviously a lot of people are trying to play here during the regular season, which will lend itself to a very, very strong and exciting regular season. So we're looking for great attendance. Hopefully, break some attendance records. Hopefully, sell out some more matches. But no, they should look for what it's been the last couple of years, and even beyond that. But exciting games, good teams, high level volleyball, electric atmosphere here in the Pyramid, and come in and get to know these guys early on. Come watch us in the fall in our non-traditional season schedule. Get to know the faces, get to see some other guys play, and build up some of the excitement, what it will look like in January.
And continuing to look forward to next year, what are you looking most forward to with next year and the kids that are coming in?
Well, I think it starts off with this trip to Europe. It's something that Daryl Auxier, one of our great alum, and Tom Hermstead, are just a huge fan of our programs in the athletic department, and a Hall of Famer himself. Really, they got it started for us with the financial donations to get this going way back in, I think it was 18 or 19 when we started this idea. We're excited about going for the experience, what it will do for our whole team, the great volleyball, but it kicks off the year a little earlier. So I'm excited to do something unique. You learn so much about your team and each other when you spend time together, eat together on a regular basis. A lot of home games are great, but they go their own way. They sleep in their own bed. They eat on their own a lot most of the day. You don't have those opportunities. So I think that I really look forward to the start in the year. But more importantly, I just getting back into some stability. We'll be in a situation where hopefully we have full-time athletic director at that point, and some real good leadership moving in whatever direction we're going to go in. And usually, new leadership is always exciting. But usually, a new leader at the top, an athletic director comes in and he was able to sell a vision, of what he wants to do and where he wants to go and where he sees the department growing. And I'm excited about that. I'm always really excited about growth of where my program can go, but where can the athletic department go, where we can go with the fan experience, where we can go with events, what can we do to keep letting people see inside how great this athletic department is. And I've been around long enough to been through a few of these changes, and I'm excited to hear what our new leadership, when we're just at that point of trying to figure out who's going to be in that last group, I guess. Where does he see this wonderful place, this program with all these great student athletes, this unbelievable tradition in all these sports, in this new landscape of NCAA sports with NILs and Alston and conference realignments to growth in sports? It's such an exciting time. I'm really excited to hear what our athletic director sees for us in the future. I hope he sees or she sees just excellence across the board, and how good we can be when everybody's kind of pulling on this thing and at the same rope, at the same end of the rope. But the couple of times that I've been through it, that first 18 months is always a very exciting time, because whoever gets that job comes in geared up, fired up. They've been waiting for this job. They've been prepping for this job. They want to prove something. They want to show the stakeholders where we're going. They want to get the coaches on board. They want to get the athletes on board. They want to get the staff on board. And I think that's going to be a nice just infusion of energy around here. And I can't wait to get started.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you.